Hey everybody, welcome back to Kavanaugh's Corner. Today on the channel we're going to be talking about a film that I have loved for many, many years. This is actually probably one of my favorite cop drama thrillers. It's an action film, it's a character piece, it's a neo-noir masterpiece is really the best way that I can describe it. And sadly, we lost the director of this film last week, and I got this movie in from Kino Lorber literally 2 days before he passed away. So what timing that is. And the film that we're going to be reviewing today is To Live and Die in LA. And this is one of the best films to come out in the 80s, in my opinion. This is a knockout film. A lot of people, surprisingly, that I've talked to have never seen this. It's really an art film disguised as like an action film. And the way that William Friedkin directed this is so incredible. It's such a dynamic, free flowing kind of direction that you really have to see it to believe it. The Blu-ray that Shout Factory did years ago, which is now out of print, that was a really solid Blu-ray for the time. And now we have this 4K from Kino Lorber, and it's completely remastered from the original 35mm camera negative. It's got Dolby Vision, HDR10. Now let's jump right into the picture quality of this guy. I watched it in Dolby Vision, and right from the get-go, I noticed an extraordinary uptick in picture quality. Just the detail level from the opening shots of the film, it is stunning to look at. Everything is a huge step up from the previous Blu-ray. I mean, you can see so much detail now. Clothing is way more detailed. There are a lot of shots of paintings since Willem Dafoe's character does these paintings and artwork. And those scenes now where you see these close-ups of these paintings, you can almost count the brushstrokes, the little raised portions of where the paint is. It's so shocking to see. It knocked me out of my shoes. It was so amazing. Another great thing that I love about this film is that it really goes and shows Willem Dafoe making this counterfeit money. And there is a scene where he, basically goes and makes a load of counterfeit money, of counterfeit $20 bills. If you ever seen a lot of the behind the scenes stuff in this movie, you'll know that they made some really incredible fake money while they were making this film. They actually had a guy come on that was a counterfeiter as like a consultant, and they made legitimately good fake money. They had to actually, not show certain steps in the film because they were afraid they were literally going to give people a crash course on making counterfeit money. And so you don't really see the entire process, but you get a good amount of it in there. The shots, the up close shots of Willem Dafoe, like making little perfections on the negative of this money. There's like a metal tintype like negative that he makes as like a printing press almost to print this money. Those shots now, you can see the littlest of details on this fake money that he's making. It's really mind-blowing. It is truly incredible. Close-up shots of faces are so revealing now. There are some really great shots of William Peterson's like eye line in that car chase where you can just, it's so much it's so stressful to watch. But you can really see his eyes like darting around, his eyebrows, like you can see like the sweat coming down his face. It's really unbelievable. I mean, like individual sweat droplets on his face now are visible. It's just wild. It's such a wild thing to see. Biggest improvement to me, even more than the detail level, is the colors now are so much more vibrant than they were before. It is really a testament to this film. I mean, again, being made in 1985, that this movie still looks so good today. There is grain in the picture throughout. It is never extraordinarily heavy. It's a, fine to medium layer of grain. Again, it is an older film, was shot on film, obviously. Colors now just jump out at you in such an extraordinary way. It's not overblown. Skin tones are extremely accurate throughout, but every color in this movie is so dead on accurate and so beautiful to look at. There are quite a few scenes in this film that are shot in like bars, and one in particular really jumps out to me. There is a scene where William Peterson visits his informant slash girlfriend. There's a very odd relationship there. He visits her in this like strip club that she's working in. It's like one piece of this club is bright red and another piece is like this neon green color, and it is so vivid now. I don't know how they lit this. It's just incredible how they lit this film. But anything that's neon colored now is improved to the nth degree. I mean, it is night and day difference from previous releases of this film. Everything is just so vivid and so beautiful to look at. There is one shot where they show the sun. I think it's the sunrise, but it's this deep blood red sky, and there's a skyline shot of Los Angeles in there, and I just was knocked out. I was just like, wow, this is. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. It was so shockingly beautiful. So in terms of colors, in terms of picture quality, this is like a 10 out of 10 for me. I mean, I was already a fan of this film, but watching this on 4K was one of the great experiences I've had for this format recently. There's been quite a few really good releases as of late, but from Kino Lorber, this is like the number one release for me from them. This is actually contender for best transfer of the year. I am not kidding. It is that great. In terms of sound quality, this does contain the original stereo track, which again is fantastic if you want to listen to it that way. I did listen to the 5.1 surround soundtrack, and that sounds really good. Dialogue is crystal clear. The music from Wang Chung sounds incredible. That's actually one of my favorite soundtracks ever. And they composed the score and did a whole ton of songs for this movie, and every one of them is a knockout. You've probably heard a few of them, but if you haven't, look up the soundtrack for this guy because it is really incredible. One of the best soundtracks of the 80s, in my opinion. But anyway, everything sounds great. Sound effects are, again, just really well placed. There's really nothing bad I can say about it. It's probably the same exact audio track from the former Blu-ray, but it was really good. And it also comes with an audio commentary by the director William Friedkin, and that is actually one of my favorite commentaries as well. Every commentary this guy did was a knockout. If you've ever heard them, they're all good. I mean, I don't think this guy ever did a bad commentary track on one of his films. I could listen to William Friedkin talk all day long. That was one thing. He was an unbelievable speaker. He never shied away from speaking his mind. And that, again, that's not for everybody, but I loved his honesty, and I loved how excited he was to talk about not only his own films, but he loved talking about film in general. He had a real love for it, and I'm going to miss that guy. I really am going to miss this guy. There's also a second Blu-ray in here that does have the film on standard Blu-ray. It is the same 4K transfer, though, as the 4K disc. So you do get the same transfer, just without the HDR. And that secondary Blu-ray has the remaining special features, which are all carryovers from that limited edition that Shout Factory did years ago. There's an interview with William Peterson, an interview with Deborah Fewer. I think it's Fewer, Deborah Fewer. I think that's how I'm pronouncing it. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. There's an interview with actor Dwyer Brown. There is an interview with Wang Chung, the band, talking about the scoring of the film and how they did the soundtrack to it. There is an interview with Buddy Joe Hooker, who is the stunt coordinator for this film, one of the greatest stunt coordinators of all time. And he goes into detail about that whole car chase. Unbelievable stuff. You got to see it. And there's also a full length documentary that is the making of To Live and Die in LA called Counterfeit World. And there's also a deleted scene and an alternate ending. So, what are my thoughts on To Live and Die in LA? This is contender for one of the best releases of the year. A total knockout from Kino Lorber from beginning to end. The fact that they were able to bring in all the special features, they did an unbelievable job with this transfer. One of the best I have ever seen. They really did this movie justice. Absolutely incredible work. I can't say enough about it. You know, it's too bad that we didn't get a Dolby Atmos track on this. I think this movie actually would have been great with one. The 5.1 still holds up really well, and I don't have anything negative to say about it. You know, every now and then I might find something that's a little off. I got nothing with this one. It's a 100% home run. Go and get To Live and Die in LA on 4K. I'm going to leave a link in the description below to Amazon so you can pick this up. If you do use that link, it really helps me out here on the channel. Every now and then I'll get a movie sent to me like Fast 10 last week, but this one I had to dive into the old wallet for, but it was well worth it. If you like this review, definitely hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel below. We're getting a lot of new subscribers lately, and I just want to say truly from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it. Also, make sure to hit that little bell icon so you get notified when I upload a video, because sometimes I'll do an off day. Most of the time it's on the weekend, but every now and then I'll upload a video during the week. So if you hit that bell, you get a notification so you can watch my videos right away. But until next time, please stay safe and take it easy.